Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. Today I have 3 replays to show you in the brand new Tier 10 British heavy premium tank, the Nemesis Main Battle Tank, which was released yesterday, and I've got these replays out as quickly as I can to show you the tank. What is this tank? Well, it's a British heavy tank, but it's kind of the best way I can describe it as a hybrid between a medium tank and a heavy tank, because it does actually have a decent mobility, and you've got a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, and you actually do reach that top speed, and you will get to that top speed fairly quickly, so you're able to move around the map pretty quickly, and yeah, a lot more mobile than most heavy tanks. It does have 10 degrees of gun depression, 420 alpha. I think I've got the DPM with my current build, which you will see shortly, at 3,528, which is okay. It's not amazing. You know, it's nothing compared to the Chieftain, but it's okay. And it does have fairly good armour. Like, the whole armour can bounce quite a lot of shots. If you're wiggling about, it can be a little bit troll, but there will be a lot of tier 10 tanks which will just be able to go straight through it. Lower plate, you're not going to bounce much at all, apart from maybe tier 8 tanks. Hold down, right, when you do turret armor, is pretty good if you are using your 10 degrees of gun depression. But it does have kind of a big flaw in the fact that it does have a very big cupola, which is very easy to hit, and it does limit your abilities, because you can be playing hold down and people can just still hit that cupola fairly easily. I think a lot of people describe this tank as pretty average. I guess the best way I could describe it as, in my opinion, it's just balanced. It's just a balanced tank. Is it anything compared to the Chieftain or the Super Conqueror? No. The Chieftain's probably the best comparison, because the Super Conqueror is quite slow. The Chieftain, the Tier 10 Tech Tree tank, is a lot better than this tank, for sure. So if you're picking it on that basis, the Chieftain will just be a better pick. Having said that, I quite enjoy the tank. I mean, that's just my own opinion. It does have its flaws, but I actually do quite enjoy playing it. It's not the best, but I enjoy the fact that it's mobile. I can get around the map, and I can play hold down. But I'm quite biased in that effect with the British sort of tanks with that sort of 10 degrees of gun depression. I always like the mediums. That's probably why I like this tank. It costs 18,000 gold though. Now, is it worth 18,000 gold? No, but I struggle to say any tank is worth that amount of money in the game. So yeah, it's a lot of gold, and I always kind of say, if you want the tank but you don't want to pay that price, you're better waiting off until eventually it comes out on discount or in the season pass. But that's probably enough of me rambling on. I'll talk more about the tank, I think, in the replays, because I've got 3 to show you. So let's just move on with the gameplay. Okay, so here we are for replay number 1, where we are on the Hellborne. If you want to see the equipment and crew setup I use, you will see that at the bottom of the screen now. So we do have 1 enemy artillery in this game, and I don't think any enemy light tanks. And initially we're going to go and try and play the sort of 8-9 line at the start, just see if we can get in a brawl, see what's spotted, and then we kind of work out what to do from there. Like I say, you do get to your top speed fairly quickly. The mobility on this tank is one of its strong points. So that does allow me to move around the map, and if I need to adjust my game plan once a lot of tanks are spotted, you do have the freedom to do so. You're not kind of just stuck in one location because of your mobility. So initially, as we move on, we're just going to see if we can get a shot into this tank, just while we're trying to get to position. We get one in here, and we're kind of just in a position where we do get spotted. Hopefully we can get into cover pretty quickly. I'm just taking a couple of blind shots here just to see if we can get some shots in. But I do get detected, and I then eat a shot for it. So this probably wasn't really worth waiting for that extra shot. But I was just trying to get a bit more damage in the game. And yeah, unfortunately we have lost a hit point. But it wasn't, at least it wasn't from a big tank destroyer or something like that. So from this position now, we should be able to we're just staying patient. We don't know exactly where that many tanks are right now. This other enemy Nemesis there, in that position, who's also a decent player, a very nice guy as well. is in a position which is going to kind of spot me every time we poke then. It's not going to be ideal. So we're just going to see if we can spot anything down this 8-9. Just being a little bit careful right at the start, because there can be some tank destroyers there we don't want to get caught out with. And now we're going to try and move around into position just to try and get into the fight. I just want to get into the battles. You can see our teammates have played fairly aggressively, which is nice, because quite often your team just camp on this Hellborne on the back of the base. Get a nice snapshot on the move. Thanks for the 6.0 snapshot physics. We hit that no problem. This tank is on a little bit of the derpier side. You know, it's not really derpy, but it's on a little bit of the derpier side. So I do run stabs, and I think that does, you know, with stabs it kind of notifies that. It doesn't feel too bad at all. But without stabs it does feel a tiny bit dirty. So I do quite enjoy using the stabs. One thing I didn't mention is on your standard rounds you have 254 penetration with a shell velocity of 1,375, which is good. Your premium rounds, your premium APCR rounds, you have 310 penetration, which is really nice for the APCR, with 1,420 shell velocity. So the shell velocity is really good, and you don't have to lead your shots that much. We are now just going to try and keep pushing around and just see if we can get into this fight. You see my team are pulling up. I'm just going to see if I can try and flank the enemy team, and you know, just so we're not all bundled in one spot. But as I make my push, a enemy Waffle E100 gets spotted. Now that's kind of awkward because I can't kill that tank by myself. If I push into him, he will be able to clip me out. But one thing this tank does have, which I didn't mention at the start, is you do have 90 penetration on your HE rounds for 550 alpha. So 90 penetration is really good because you can pen quite a lot of tanks with that. It's why I take quite, you know, I think 5 shells or 4 shells. And with the Waffle E100, it did have a turret armor buff, but 90 penetration is enough to actually pen it. So I do swap to those HE rounds just to get the damage in quicker. Now, thankfully for me, I have a teammate who is willing to come and help me here, and hopefully we can try and push the Waffle E100 together. Like I say, Waffle, yeah, dangerous tank, because he can clip me, or they can clip me, and they can clip me very, very quickly. But we push into this rock, and we're just going to use this to try and avoid taking the shots. Now, he's put one shot into our teammate there, so we're going to try and help him the best I can and try and get some shots in, but I don't want to throw my tank away. But then he's kind of full committed. I mean, he's been a hero here. Unfortunately, he's kind of paid the price and got taken out for it. But at least now, yeah, it's not in vain. I will kill the Waffle E100 for this. He's on reload, so you know, he's dead now. And I do pen the Waffle, and we take him out, picking up our first kill, putting us on to about 2,700 damage. But there is another tank destroyer back there. I think another enemy Waffle E100. So just pulling back just to be on a bit more of a cautious side. So we are in a hold down position. But as my team now advance through, I might, you know, just continue this push and try and get through, because you can see how, you know, heavily advanced our team are now. And we've got 3 shots into this Waffle E100. We put one in, putting us under 3,000 damage. We should be able to get another shell in. I could have swapped to the HE rounds, but you know, in all the madness, I'm just trying to get these shots in as quick as we can. And he does get taken out, bringing us to a 6v6. So it is a still very close game. And I am somewhat conscious that our base is undefended, and enemy team could have pushed through the town to try and get to our base. So I'm going to start to head the way towards our base, so I can get the reset, you know, so I'm not too far away if I need to get that reset, as we don't want to get capped out. But as that's happening, our friendly tank destroyers, 2 friendly tank destroyers, have jumped into the well, 1 is in there, but now 2's in there, jumped into the cap circle. So that does somewhat force the enemy team to have to come and try and come in and you know, reset the base. We get a shot blind there into the Type 5's lower plate, putting us on to just shy of 4,000 damage. And at this point I'm thinking, well, the enemy team probably do have to, or they have to come and get the reset, or they are going to lose the game in 45 seconds. So I'll put myself in a position to get some shots in. Now this was very, very risky. Almost got shot by the Type 5 there. And yeah, I've got to be careful, because obviously he doesn't have to pen us if he's using the you know, the HE rounds. He's just going to splash us for 500-600, you know, and it will potentially pen us if he hits us lower plate. We do kill the one-shot object 277, putting us back into a 5 versus 4, and I'm kind of feeling like we're gonna we're going to cap out here. Selfishly, I don't want us to cap out because I kind of want to get a bit more damage out of this game. You're having a decent game, 2 kills, 4,000 damage, but there's still a lot of hit points. That Type 5's carrying a lot of hit points there. Now it looks like we're about to get capped out, but then they just get the reset. We then kill the Waffle, who got the reset, picking up our 3rd kill, putting us into 4,200 damage with 3 kills remaining. But now I am, the last time I did spot a medium tank heading towards our base. So I am going to start to head that way, just in case he comes and caps us out. It looks like the medium tank was an E50M, and they've just killed our friendly T92 artillery piece. So I know this E50M cannot be far away. Enemy type gets spotted pushing. We do spot this E50. You're going to try and get a shot into him. Unfortunately, it only does track damage now. And we've got to pull back to try and avoid eating a shot off of this E50. We do get a bit of track assistance there, and then we then get splashed by this Type 5 behind us. So in this scenario, I'm thinking, right, I can't stay where I am because I'm in a crossfire between a Type 5 and an E50. My best bet is just to push this E50, kill this E50, and then I'm left with only killing 2 heavy tanks, which is going to be a lot easier for me. And I looks like our friendly Death Star kills the other enemy heavy tank, leaving us against this E50 and this Type 5. So I'm going to try and kill this E50 M here. We do both bounce a shot there. We're both all pretty similar hit points with pretty similar DPM, to be honest with you. We get a shot in, he bounces. Now I know I do have to kill here. Our friendly medium puts a shot in anyway. We should be able to finish off this E50M. Do so, putting us onto 4 kills, 5,000 damage, 800 assistance. And there's 1 tank remaining, the enemy Type 5. I'm not really concerned about losing this game at this point because I have so much more mobility than this Type 5, and we have 3 tanks versus 1, and the Type 5 is just in a very awkward position. So I'm just going to see if we can get some damage in. We'll try and get as much damage as we can. He's got 1,000 hit points left. Hopefully we can get a couple of pens in there. Do have a nice pen, damaging his ammo rack, putting us into 5,500 damage with 4 kills. Hoping to try and get another one in there, just trying to bait his shot out. He does turn frontally on. I don't know why I didn't fire at the side of his turret cheeks there. I kind of made myself a bit awkward. But I do have a lower plate shot. We pick up the kill, but only for 60 damage. Bring us then to replay number 1. Let's see how we got on there. We pick up 5 kills, 5,600 damage, 1,000 assistance. Second class, the masteries will be set quite high at this point because the tank has only just come out, so it sets it to one of the other tanks which will have a higher mastery. So that's it for replay number 1, but with 2 more replays to come, let's move on. Rightio, we're on for replay number 2 on Airfield, where there is 1 enemy light tank and 1 enemy artillery piece, and it is just a standard Airfield variant. So I'm going to go and try and play just sort of right hand centre of the map. Just try and get into these ridges, see what we spot. Again, work out what we're going to do once we know what we're detected and what we're dealing with and where the enemy team are located. So we're pushing across. You can see how quickly we do get to this top speed. You could potentially run powertrain or traction if you wanted to get that boost to your mobility, which you would then reach. But I choose to run stabs, and I don't want to drop loader, and I also always want optics because I want to increase my view range as best as I can. So with this was the setup we've chosen to use, but you may prefer to mix that up. And anyway, as we move on, we spot an enemy Leopard on the right hand side, but not a lot of other tanks really have come this way. And the artillery has got a splash into us, taking out our crew member. The crews do get damaged quite easy in this, especially the commander, because your commander hatch is quite easy to pen and quite easy to hit. Every time it does, it pretty much knocks out your commander, which is a bit, which is probably another flaw. Get a shot here into that enemy Leopard. Somehow we're not getting detected by this Leopard here, so I'm going to try and single this tank out and kill him as quickly as I can. You see I swapped to a small mini map there. That's just to make sure there wasn't tanks coming up behind us while we try and kill this Leopard. Because once this Leopard is dead, it's going to free up so much more space for us. We can actually move up and just try and get onto their ridge line, because a lot of their tanks are all the other side and there's not much here at all. but we have to kill the leopard first. Leopard comes out, we slap a shot in there, and we actually manage to bounce a shot in return, so we don't actually eat any damage off of this leopard here. And we're just going to lose our spot and just keep going to see if we can kill this leopard. I don't mind trading 1 for 1 at this point, just because I have to kill the tank. We try and get a HE shell in there. Unfortunately, we don't pen it. We can pen the leopard, but we didn't hit the right spot. So probably was better off just using the APCR there. Thankfully, we don't lose any damage in return though. And again, we're just, I think it's kind of just left to me to kill this leopard, because there isn't really anyone else really trying to help do so, or maybe they can't do so. We get one in, and at this rate, we are going to kill this tank. I really don't mind if he shoots me at this point, as long as I can kill him. He comes in the open, he misses his shot, we get one in, put him onto a one shot there with 41 hit points. So we should be able to take out this leopard, and then we can progress with this battle, because this was a tank which was kind of holding us up. Unfortunately, out of all the shots we then bounced, we bounced that shot at point blank with 310 penetration. This time though, we do get the kill in, and now that frees up, because we're in we are winning, but it's not 100% won at this point. But I can now use this ridge to potentially get shots into tanks on the left hand side. Still conscious that there will be some tank destroyers in the base, so I've got to be careful of that. Try and finish off the one shot heavy tank, and of course it bounces, and now put me in a slightly awkward situation. I do want to kill this tank though, so I'm going to risk this poke just to get rid of this tank. We do confirm in our second kill, putting us on to 2,200 odd damage, I think, with 7 tanks remaining, but it's still, what, 7 versus 9, so it's definitely not 1, but we are starting to take a little bit more good positions in the tank. I'm going to try and kill this VZ, who's in a position where I do have shots in, put one into his engine deck, and now going to try and move back. I'm using this rock here to protect myself from enemy tank destroyers while I make this play. And we do, finally take out the VZ, which is good. Picking up our third kill of the game, put us on about 3,000 damage with 1,600 blocked as well. And now we're going to try and move in and get a little bit closer. Now, I don't want to kill myself with physics, so I've got to be very, very careful I come off this in the right area. We do manage to do so without, throwing our tank away there. Enemy light tank comes out of nowhere. We get one shot in. We're just wiggling, and just make it awkward for him to pen us. We should have the kill here. Yes, we do, and we confirm our 4th kill of the game, putting us on to just shy now of 4,000 damage. With 4 tanks remaining, so it's looking like we're probably going to win this game. I mean, looking at the map, there's probably just going to be the tanks either in the base or maybe at CB1 potentially. There is an enemy Ruthless still alive. We've got to be a bit concerned about that, because it can one-shot us if we get caught out. Full health I7 in their base, and we've got this Italian tank destroyer to our right-hand side. We really want to just bait this I7 out to try and push us, because we've got cover from our friendly tank destroyer, so if he does, we can get shots in. I'm going to try and help out our friendly heavy tank on the right by putting in a shot into that tank destroyer, putting him onto a one-shot for him. Now the I7 does come in, puts one shot into us. We then bounce the lower plate. I kind of aimed a bit too high, hit the peak of his nose, really. That was my bad more than anything. Now he is, well, I thought he was going to full send us, but he's not. He's actually running. So we're just going to try and get some shots in, because this game is pretty much done. There is still a Rufus who I haven't spotted, or hasn't been spotted yet, unless I missed it. So I think he must be in the sort of G1 on the top right corner of the map, and he does then get spotted. We finish off the I7 for our 5th kill with an opportunity now to pick up the Top Gun or even the Devastator. There is the enemy Ruthless, 7 versus 2. Pretty much won this game. Just want to try and get over there. You can see that the Ruthless is ammo racked, which means he has a horrendous reload. I think there's another Italian tier 9 tank destroyer left on the enemy team as well, which I'm guessing is over there somewhere. Get a shot into the lower plate, going through the track wheel there of the Ruthless, keeping him trapped in place. Hopefully we can pick it up the finish, and we do, confirming our 6th kill. Bring this and then to the second replay with one more to come. We'll see how we got on with this one and move on. We get 6 kills, confirming the Top Gun, 5,000 damage, 500 assistance, and 2,000 blocked. So let's move on to the final replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for the final replay. This time we are on Westfield, where there is no little fun police, little artillery in the game, which is good news for us, and there's one enemy light tank. It is the encounter variant. Now initially we're going to just try and, being on a heavy tank, ideally I'd like to be in the sort of B1, 2, B3, ridge lines and get into a fight there, because I can go hold down. But what I like to do, I don't like to commit straight away until I know I am going to have enough support, because if I just go there by myself, it's not going to be good. So I move to this ridge line here first, and worst case, if I don't have enough support, which is not looking likely, because you can see a lot of our team have decided to push down the opposite side of the map, I can stay here and be in a hold down position to at least shoot the enemy team when they peek their ridge lines. So I have decided quite early doors. You can see no one's really pushing across. I'm not going to go over there by myself, and I have no information about how many tanks are really there, because only 2 tanks are spotted, and it could potentially be quite a few tanks there. So our friendly sharpshooter is moving up, but I've decided it's probably best. I've got a sense that there's going to be quite a few tanks coming that way, just by the amount of tanks which haven't been spotted yet. So I'm just going to stay here, and if they over peak, I could, like this Lorraine has just appeared, I can try and cover our sharpshooter and our tank destroyer and put shots in when they actually try and cut, get peak for shots in. So there is now 2 tanks spotted, and I do think there's going to be quite a few more. Enemy VZ gets spotted here, and I will at least be in a good position to get shots in if they overcommit. But yeah, as you can see, there's already 3 tanks there. I think 4th tank and then a 5th tank gets spotted. So the enemy team have a massive overmatch on that side, and it'd be pretty much game over for me if I full send over there now, because we don't have enough tanks covering at all. It's really just me and this medium tank covering these tanks. So if I go over there as well, which is 1 medium tank covering me, and yeah, it's not going to be good. I'm thinking the best thing I can do right now is just wait, cover these tanks, and because we have a lot of tanks behind us on the 0 line, I should then be able to, if they approach us and get close, if I can keep them spotted, I can get shots in when they cross, and also they should then get shot at by all our campers on the 0 line. So we pick up a kill in the light tank, which is quite important, because I think it is the only enemy light tank on Westfield, and Westfield's a very, very good map for your light tanks. So if you can keep your light tank alive, you can have a good game on Westfield. So thankfully we did take out that light tank, will hopefully make our life easier. But there is an enemy Avery got spotted on the hill, and the Avery is a massive problem for us because he doesn't have to pen us, and when we're poking side on like this, it could just, it could end our game very, very quickly. And it's kind of probably pushing to the worst position for us, this Avery here, because this is stopping us peeking and spotting the tanks which are advancing us to get shots in. Because I can't over poke and shoot these tanks. You see that meet the heavy tank to my right? I could have probably spotted him crossing, which is what I wanted to happen. But that can't happen now with that Avery, because if I do, he can slap me in the side. And will take away a lot of our hit points, and maybe even set us on fire. So there's a lot of tanks in front of us. I have spotted the small mini-map. We are now losing this game in an 8 versus 12 situation. Medium tank has pushed round on the right hand side. That's a problem for me, because that puts me in a crossfire, puts me in a very difficult situation here. The rain pokes up and we get the shot in. So I'm going to try and prioritise killing this medium tank if I can, if it gives us a shot. One thing I have for my advantage is I have a lot of tanks covering me. So I want to try and keep those tanks spotted above me, because if I spot those tanks, I can pick up the assistance, and it's going to increase our chances of trying to come out of this situation and win, because we don't have a lot of map control. I am literally the only vision for our team. So if I die at this point here, these tanks aren't going to get spotted, and yeah, it's going to cause us a big problem. So it's kind of crucial I try and do everything I can to stay alive if we want to try and get anything out of this game. We do pick up some assistance to spot on the top of the hill. The problem I've got is this medium tank. This medium tank is stopping me from spotting them so easily when he has these side shots into me. So I need this medium tank I need to get rid of this medium tank. The problem is he's very, very healthy, He does again get a big shot, one of our friendly tanks on the hill, which is good. I am going to try and poke up and see if we can squeeze a shot in. Also being careful something doesn't over poke on that hill in front to get shots in. But they shouldn't really be able to do so. They should then, if they did, should get shot by our campers on the zero line and should get taken out pretty quickly. We put one shot into medium, put him onto a potential, well, hopefully a one shot, unless we low roll now with our 420 Alpha. We should be able to take him out. So I'm trying to see if we can squeeze a shot, but he's hiding behind the base. You can see there's tanks behind me trying to get shots into me when I poke a little bit higher. So a bit of a problem for me, but I'm just going to try and do all I can to just stay alive and not throw my tank away. Because remember, there is still that enemy Avery which was alive, and that enemy Avery could one-shot me potentially at this point. We do kill that enemy medium tank. We trade one for it, put us into 1,000 hit points. But that was a kind of a big kill because now I can try and poke and get shots into the enemy Avery on the top of the hill here. So we get one shot into him. We manage to pick up 2,000 assistance as well for spotting these other tanks. You can see as they try and poke to get shots into me, they get shot, backing them up. I'm trying to put as many shots into this enemy Avery as I can. It's my priority if I can, because if I kill that tank, it eliminates a dangerous tank which can one-shot me, also eliminates that awkward angle, and he's also trying to cap. Enemy S1 comes over and thankfully he bounces there. It could have ruined my game. I mean, there was only one outcome for that F3005 when he overpoked that ridge. He was 100% going to die. There's no way he could survive that. But if he would have penned it, then that could have, could just turned the game. This outcome of this game could be very, very different. But thankfully, he bounces that shot for me, and we managed to pick up about 3,000 assistance now. And we brought this game back to a 4 versus 4, very, very tight game right now. Trying to get shots into this AV as best I can, keeping an eye out on that heavy tank or tank to my right, but it looks like that tank to my right hand side is going to get taken out very, very shortly. Unfortunately, our friendly Badger somehow has killed herself. I don't know how. I obviously wasn't looking at that area of the map, but that doesn't really help us, unfortunately. I was just seeing if I could shoot that building, but that's not destructible. So yeah, I don't know why I shot that, but I thought I'd try. And I'm trying my best to kill this Avery. We're in a 3 versus 3 situation. I think the other enemy tank destroyer is a Jag Tiger. I then get targeted here. Now that is not from that enemy Avery. That means there's a tank behind me, and it's an enemy medium tank, which is an enemy Ragnarok. So now I'm in an awkward situation because I'm stuck in a place where I don't want to be. I don't want to be able to get shot at by these tanks on the right. And we know where the 2 tanks are, and we know there's now a Ragnarok on the other side. He does get spotted. We get a nice shot there into the AV, putting him onto a 1 shot. We do lose our heavy tank there, putting us now into a 2 versus 3. And I'm concerned that I don't want to get clipped out by that Ragnarok. I'm going to try and hopefully back up. I'm backing up because if I get detected here trying to escape by the Avery, then I will be able to drive forward and get out of the way. But I'm trying to just back up. I don't want to be in this situation. I don't want to be in that crossfire. If I can get over this ridge, which I've managed to do, I'm now at least safe from there, and I can continue trying to get shots in. Our friendly Leopard PTA has gone in. Now I really don't want to lose our Leopard PTA here, because these tanks have quite a lot of hit points, but there's no really way I can push to try and save him now. I feel like he's probably going to get taken out by this enemy Ragnarok now, and he's in an awkward situation, which is probably then going to put me in a 1 versus 3 scenario. We're having a decent game with 3 kills, 4,100 damage and 3,000 assistance. I think on this replay, the enemy team will have to, if they want to win this game, then they're going to have to kill all or cap out. So that's going to play a little bit into my advantage, because even though we are 2 versus 3, that would still be a draw. So to actually win it, they have to kill us all or cap out. Now I'm going to try and just get to a different position when I was last located. Unfortunately, our Leopard PTA does get taken out by the AV. Now we are in a 1 versus 3. Now the Avery is a potential 1-shot to us. The Ragnarok I think was full health, and the Jaeger E100 is very, very healthy. So I'm trying to get into a scenario where I think if they're going to go in the cap circle, I want to try and get on the ridge and see if I can get some shots into them. Like the Jaeger E100 is very slow, so I can outmaneuver that. I won't be able to outmaneuver the Ragnarok, but it is a tier 8 tank, and we can pen it quite comfortably with the HE rounds, which will be able to probably kill him in two to 3 shots. The Avery can one-shot us, so knowing that the Avery is low health, that's the tank I want to try and kill first. If I can try and catch that tank out, then it's going to be, ideal scenario, we kill the Ragnarok, and the Jaeger E100 will be fairly easy kill to kill if it's just me versus a 1 versus them, just because of the TD and it's got no turret. Try and get a shot into Jaeger who gets spotted. It does unfortunately mean I don't pen, but also the game's given away. They know where I am right now. I was hoping it was going to be the Avery in the cap, if I'm honest. That's a tank I wanted to surprise. And now I'm just going to try and lose my spot and then move and get to a different location, because I can't, with a mobile Ragnarok in the game, I can't just sit here and then end up in a situation where I get pushed by all tanks at lots of different angles. So I need to try and find a different way to kill them. Try to get a shot into the Avery Cupola, because if I killed him then, that could make this game a lot easier to kill. Unfortunately, the Avery is trying to close the distance, and then the Ragnarok does get spotted. I'm hoping to get a shot in, but he's been very clever, and he's behind the wreck of this enemy F3005, which died for sending me, and I don't have a shot into this tank. I can't really delay waiting for him to poke and get shots in, because I know full well that there is an enemy, a nasty German tank destroyer, and an enemy Avery on its way to me right now. So I need to try and catch the Avery out if I can, kill the Avery, and then try and just get out of here. Enemy Avery's there. I can't poke to get the shot in, but he does poke there, and I'm hoping to try and get a shot in, but again he's behind the wreck and I just don't have any shots in. And at this point I'm concerned that I can't really wait any longer to get these shots into this enemy Avery here, because there's probably a TD advancing on my position as we speak. So I'm going to have to fall back again and try and just keep falling back, doing the best I can to stay in this game. I'm not going to give it up easily. I'm just going to try and do all I can to win this and make it as difficult for the enemy team to retreat. I don't think I have enough time to try and get out of there how I was thinking, and so I just changed my plan to get up into this position on here, meaning I could try and stay hidden behind this rock from this enemy tank destroyer. The enemy Ragnarok might struggle to pen us if we can get into, like, if we've got our frontally armour facing him. We're now, enemy Avery's coming in to try and kill us as well. I know the Ragnarok's probably trying moving in to get flank shots in. I'm going to have any hope of winning. I need to kill this Avery. We do get the shot in, and thankfully for me we roll high enough to kill that Avery. Now that was massive, because now we're in a 2 versus 1 rather than 1 versus 3, and that big threat of the Avery is gone. Ragnarok, unfortunately for me, is full health, and we're just waiting to hopefully pokes to try and get a shot in. We do put a shot into him there, putting us under just shy of 5,000 damage. I know this TD is trying to approach us, but because it doesn't have a turret, we can hopefully, if it comes for us one side of the ridge, we can just pop over to the other side of the ridge and escape. So I'm just staying here as long as I can to hope that Ragnarok makes a mistake and allows us to get a shot into him. Unfortunately, yeah, he is shooting us now. He bounces one of the shells. He misses his second shell. He's only got 1 shell remaining there left in his clip if he hasn't already gone for a reload. That in an awkward situation. He does put his final shell into me. I know he's definitely on reload now, so I could try and move in and try and kill this tank destroyer, but the problem is I think because he's got so much hit points, before I can actually kill the tank, the Ragnarok will reload. So I'm just waiting. The TD's not a massive threat right now because I can just try and run and escape. I try to snap one into his superstructure as he advances from me, but he is getting pretty close now, and I think I've just got to go because if he just comes over that ridge and manages to just eat, don't, even if I get behind him, the Ragnarok can then just clip me out. So I'm just going to have to run because I think the Ragnarok's probably trying to flank. I don't want to be stuck in that same location having to fight the Ragnarok and the tank destroyer. I do swap to the HE rounds, hoping to catch out the Ragnarok as it comes around this ridge. I do get detected. That's from the TD leaving, I believe. There's only 31 seconds on the clock. At this point I'm thinking, well, if I don't die, I'm definitely not going to win. I'm not going to lose the game. It will be a draw. I do really want to win it, but I haven't got enough time to kill them all. Put one HE round into the Ragnarok, get behind his cover. He's been very, very smart here. He doesn't stay to dump the rest of his clip there because he knows I'm going to reload and kill him. But there's only 10 seconds left. I'm hoping I can just kill this Ragnarok before the game ends and then bring it to a 1 versus 1. But we don't have time, but we're not going to lose because there's only 1 second left on the clock. Try to get one into the Jaguar 100. But that is it. We do draw. We don't manage to get the win. But given the situation, I think we did a pretty good job. Ragnarok also has a really good game. Fair play to him. Made it very hard for us. 4 kills, 5,400 damage. We get the Defender Medal. We get 3,000 assistance. Yeah, we did all we could with that one. So there we go. That's the replay of the new tank. Like I say, best way I can describe it is a heavy medium tank. It's basically balanced. It's not... I quite like it, to be honest with you. I mean, it's definitely not worth 18,000 gold. You know, there's lots of other tanks which are better than this tank. The Thankyou Chieftain British heavy tank is a lot better. But having said that, I like the fact that it's quite mobile and I've enjoyed playing it. But yeah, it's not worth 18,000 gold. That's just so much gold. You know, unless you got it to spend it and you want it, of course. But here you go, that's it for the video. If you do like it, please remember to like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. But as always, happy tanking.